Topic 7-4, irrational square roots. This can be referenced in our Holt textbook on Chapter 1, Section 5 on page 32. And actually on page 34, there's a good chart about irrational numbers versus rational numbers, including what integers and whole numbers and all of the different numbers that we deal with under the heading of real numbers. But this section we're going to look at is dealing with square roots. It's also referenced in Chapter 11, Section 6 in our Holt textbook, page 805. Okay, what I want you to look at is knowing some terms here. This is a square root sign, a radical sign, so we call that the radical. The number that sits underneath the radical is called a radicand. So if I refer to these names this way, this is taking the square root, whereas if I had it like 2 squared, so you say two different things here. This is 2 squared, but if it's under the radical sign, you call it taking the square root of a number. And the number I put under here is irrational. We learned about perfect square roots in 7-3, and so we're looking at numbers that can't be perfectly squared, so we call those irrational numbers. Let's look at a couple of examples. I put in the top corner of this what you can help use with a calculator, and that is, let's try to get this, I don't want to do too many at a time. I'll put that right there. If you're trying to find numbers that are factors of a number, you can use your y equal button. You put the number divided by x, and then you check the table for all of the list of factors. The example that I had on my card was the square root of 47. Well, let's see if there were any factors. So you go to your y equal button, and then you put in the number, and then say divided by x, and use this for your x. This is the universal variable. Whether you also have a p or a q or a t, it doesn't matter. Use this button. Okay, so for that one, if you want to check the table, you have to hit second table, and then it gives you the list of values. We're not dealing with negatives, so you're just looking at the 1 and 47. And then look, every other value, you're never going to see another whole number for this one. So this is actually called a prime number because there is no other whole factor times 47. All right, let's move on. If we're trying to get the factors of 63 for number 1, y equals 63 divided by x is already there. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the list of factors here. Let's go up to the first one. 1 and 63, 3 and 21. So let's go ahead and write one of the factors in a factor tree form. I do have notes that showed it a little bit differently, writing it just under a radical sign, but I like the factor tree, and I'm going to see if this works for you too. What you're looking for are perfect pairs. So when you get a pair of numbers, I want you to get in the habit of circling that pair of numbers. Whatever's left underneath that cannot be factored or paired up, you put it into a box. This will help you know what factors outside of the radical sign and what stays under the radical sign. This is a pair of 3s, and what stays under is a 7. So that would be your answer. For 98, I could go to my calculator and put it in. 98 divided by x, second graph gets me my table, 2 and 49. Well, if I break it down to 2 and 49, I know that 49 is 7 times 7. So you get a factor pair under this radical sign. This doesn't have a pair, so the answer is the 7, whatever pair you're able to circle, square roots of 2. Okay, let's go down and look at 2 more problems. I've already written the factor trees for these. For square root of 256, you might not have known that, but if you put it in your calculator under y equals, you actually would have gotten a perfect square showing 16 and 16. Actually, let me show that one. If I did 256 divided by x, and then I go to my table, notice how 2 and 128, but then I'm going to have to break it down a whole lot. 4 and 64 is a set of 2 pairs, so that's a perfect square, and that's a perfect square. So you would have been able to find it there. But if you do want to scroll through, you will actually see a perfect square. 16 times 16 is 256. So this answer just becomes 16. It is a perfect square. Okay, now you're getting into all of these just had nothing outside the radical sign, so that's understood to be a 1. Here, I'm going to show you what we're going to do after we factor what's under the radical, and we circle our groups of pairs. So watch closely. I broke it down: 2 times 24, 2 times 12, 2 times 6, and 2 times 3. I just kept breaking down the factors of each number until I get it to your prime numbers. So you want to keep factoring until you can't factor anymore. Alright, this one's kind of tricky because you are looking at 2 sets of circles. Everywhere else we've only had 1 set. Here, 1 set here, and 1 set here. What we have to do with these two is take that 2 times 2, which is 4, but you're going to factor out a complete 4, and then what stays under is a 3. Get in the habit of putting a box around something that doesn't have a pair, and you'll know that it stays under the radical. But we're actually not finished with this problem. If you look closely, there was already a 2 on the outside. So you have to remember, if you want to, draw an arrow. And you have to multiply that 2, sorry, my equal sign's a little close, by the 4, so that this actually is 8 square roots of 3. That would be your answer. So pause this, study it a little bit, see if you've got that understood. Okay, I did the factor tree for 5 and 6. Slide this up just a tad. 72 is 8 and 9. 8 factors to 2 and 4. 9 factors to 3 and 3. And 4 factors to 2 and 2. Circle your pairs. There's a pair of 2's and a pair of 3's. Don't forget this 2 here. He has to stay under the radical sign. But these actually factor outside. So if you want to write them separately, you can. Remember, you got to bring your 5 over because there was a number in front. Times 3 times 2. So you have to multiply that. So that's 15 times 2. So the answer for this would be 30 square roots of 2. Don't forget any number that's on the outside. Here's one that doesn't have a number. This number is awfully large, so if you want to put it in the calculator, 216 divided by x, you'll get one of the first factors listed is 108 and 12. Well, you might want to put that one in again and see what it divides out to. 9 times 12 is 108. 3 times 3 is 9. There's one pair. 2 times 6 is 12. And 2 times 3 is 6. So we'll see this pair goes this direction. 3, this last 3 didn't pair up with anything. There are some 3's, but once they've paired, oh, and don't forget this one. This 2 is left over also. So you have a 2 left over and a 3 left over, so that has to be multiplied together under the radical sign. Maybe I should just put it in steps. The 2 and 3. Then you have on the outside this 3, this 2, and there's nothing else. So it's a 3 and a 2 on the outside. You just have to remember it's multiplication. So this actually becomes 6 square roots of 6. Alright, last one. I'm going to let you study these just a bit. Try to get this straight on your page. Just be careful because this is a -3 we're going to end up multiplying out. I've done the factor tree. Again, this one's been done for you, but I didn't circle the pairs. So you might pause this for a minute, circle and try to answer this question in the pause mode, and then turn it back on and see if you got the right one. So pause it for a minute and then do that. Alright, these pairs kind of far apart, but here's one pair of 2's, here's another pair of 2's, and here's the last pair of 2's. Notice 3 doesn't have a pair. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8 square roots of 3. But don't forget that we have to multiply this by a negative 3. So you have a negative 24 square roots of 3. So see if you got that one. All right, here's one that's a pretty long drawn out. It's a huge number. So circle your factor pairs. There's not another 5, so I'm going to put a box around that one. There's not a 2 and there's not a 7, but there is a pair of 3s. Be careful, that's the page number. Alright, so this has to be boxed and this has to be boxed. Notice these are all prime numbers. You are going to multiply them back together. So what's left underneath the radical is a 70. 5 times 2 times 7 is 70. And what goes on the outside, this is a 2 and this is a pair of 3s, so you have 6. So hopefully that's what you got when you paused it and tried this on your own. And that concludes 7-4.